Now, the books of 1st and 2nd Chronicles provide a second account of the history of Israel. Genesis all the way through 2nd Kings has given us one long account. 1st Chronicles actually begins with Adam, and it does go through, 1st and 2nd Chronicles do go up to the Babylonian exile. They echo a good deal of what we find in the books of Samuel and Kings, but they have more of a priestly bias, and they eliminate a lot of material that sheds a poor light on Israel's kings. So, for example, you won't find the story of David and Bathsheba when you're reading the Chronicles account of the reign of David. So Chronicles is already an interpretation of, it's an inner biblical interpretation. It is the Bible interpreting itself, right? Later strand of tradition reflecting on earlier strands of tradition and representing that material in a particular light. The chronicler is less interested in David's political genius, for example. It doesn't go into his strategy and his political accomplishments nearly so much as it does go into his role in establishing Jerusalem as the religious capital, in planning a temple, in organizing the music for temple worship. These are the interests of the chronicler. The book of 2nd Chronicles concludes with the decree of Cyrus, permitting the Jewish captives to return to their homeland and build their temple. We have a second, fuller version of this decree, which, as I said, seems to be consistent with what we know of Persian policies, of the policy of tolerating and even encouraging local religious cults. So that fuller version appears in Ezra. I'm going to read first from 2nd Chronicles. 2nd Chronicles 36, verses 22 to 23. And in the 1st year of King Cyrus of Persia, when the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah was fulfilled, the Lord roused the spirit of King Cyrus of Persia to issue a proclamation throughout his realm by word of mouth and in writing as follows. Thus said King Cyrus of Persia, the Lord God of heaven has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has charged me with building him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Any one of you, of all of his people, may the Lord his God be with him and let him go up. And then in Ezra, there's an addition, Ezra 1, verses 3 and 4. Let him go up to Jerusalem, that is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord God of Israel, the God that is in Jerusalem. And all who stay behind, wherever he may be living, let the people of his place assist him with silver, gold, goods, and livestock, besides the freewill offerings to the house of God that is in Jerusalem. Notice that the decree at the very beginning in Chronicles, in the 2nd Chronicles version, the decree is said to fulfill the word of the prophet Jeremiah. Now you remember that Jeremiah prophesied that the Babylonian exile would last 70 years, right? He wrote the letter, he said, settle down, this is going to last a while, plant plants and build homes. So he had prophesied 70 years for an exile. Well, from the time of the first departure of exiles in 597, maybe to the return in 538, 61 years, it's close. If you look from the destruction of the first temple perhaps in 586 to the completion of the second, somewhere between 520, 515, we're not really sure. That's about 70 years. Either way, it seems that in the eyes of the chronicler, it was close enough. This seems to have been a fulfillment of Jeremiah's prediction that it would be about 70 years before they would return. So the books of Ezra and Nehemiah give an account of the return of the Babylonian exiles in the late 6th and 5th century. And Ezra and Nehemiah were regarded as a unit, those two books were regarded as a unit in the Hebrew Bible until the Middle Ages. They may in fact have formed part of a larger historical work, Ezra and Nehemiah, 1st and 2nd Chronicles.